The next article that I'm interested in writing is in the reproductive rights field, and it specifically looks at the possibility of re-examining ways to protect reproductive rights in wake of a decision by the Supreme Court called Gonzalez versus Carhart. In that decision, what the court did superficially was uphold a restriction on a certain type of abortion procedure. But I think what is much more interesting and important about the decision is that for the first time, the Supreme Court has completely compromised women's health. It has said that despite almost unanimous testimony from physicians that this type of procedure is sometimes necessary to protect the health of women, particularly women who have certain types of pre-existing medical conditions or certain types of problems in their pregnancy, the court has said that the state can forbid the physician from performing the procedure that he or she thinks is safest for his or her patient. What my article wants to look at is whether we need to re-examine the basis on which reproductive rights have been protected. For instance, I'd like to look at the question of whether we can get better protection for the right by looking at the relationships involved. One thing that struck me when I read the Supreme Court opinion was that the majority, made almost no mention whatsoever of the women who are actually needing and obtaining the procedure involved, but it certainly made no mention at all of their partners, family members, and children that could be affected. And the court has in the past expressed a lot of concern for protecting especially the marital relationship, and recently in the Lawrence versus Texas decision, the court talked about protecting intimate relationships in general. And I think that by looking at the real women and husbands and partners that are going to be affected by this ruling, for instance, a woman who has a wanted pregnancy as part of her marital relationship faces the tragedy of needing to terminate it based on her physician's advice because either something is wrong with the baby or something is wrong with her, and she and her husband need to make a decision in relationship with in concert with the physician about what would be best for preserving her health, making sure she's around to take care of perhaps her other children, protect her fertility in the future. And the state is now coming in and saying, no, you can't do that. And it strikes me that that's a profoundly troubling result. It would be profoundly troubling for most Americans that the state can be involved in that way, and that it offers the possibility for rethinking the way that we've been protecting reproductive rights.